So to yen na-ekwu no gbaburu anyị mgbokwu ya chi na ya ọzọ maka ahụ ahụ ka n'ime ihe a na-akpọ gọvanọ ma ọ bụ oge nke ma ọ bụ nke ọzọ wakpawa na grupu ha they can never smell the post of Biafra because I know our DPM I agba mbọ fụ na akọrịtiri ihe.
Chelena majungu kedi bachelu ajunu ngajojo Chelena calm down. I drag go differ because I believe yesterday. I got because I didn't with your voice. I'm from the was the young man, young boy.
I was
with your voice. Na muchere go o na eme mi numuti fele. Nifu people like you come out and support to Allo. Ebe your so-called in our support to Allo. If you just support to Allo, ebe your so-called DPM. Nabatalande bu bagu nebu muke. Onwolo nya akori ife chelu. Oh, oya uri Allo. And he na gba so no make mistake. Ebu bagu chelu na ka ikusia echini half declaration declaration mad. Owo na mma na ye becha declaration I no na condition I no. Declaration why the wakwa. Ebe ye ta te me ye ji. Come here becha declaration ti I na bondage. Imo no informe. We hapu our me umazi lo ntala ya fufu. We nfa we tu aja ni mo ofia. Musa will ba because of Omazia. Adopt offer. Yele truth to bag bulu muke. Caterpillar ochibiye. Ike guru ago. Chelu. Ike guru ago. Ngozo la beze jafo.
If you are joining us,
what you go to BTV guy. And what the quabos are a ganon anyị abịa lụbọsị ọzọ lụbọsị chibuo anụ ọzọ lụbọsị chibuo anya ọzọ lụbọsị tata ka anyị wetara gị n'oge gbamgbam dị ka o si akpọtụ ọwara igwe okwu okwute BTV ka anyị wetara gị enwedịkwa ebe ọzọ ị ga-anụ n'oge gbamgbam dị ihe na-emenụ ọ naanị n'igwe okwu okwute BTV. Mana tupu anyị agabala iru anyị chọrọ ka ịmata ala gọọmenti in exile enweghịkwa gọọmenti ọzọ anyị nwere n'ala Biafra abụghị Biafra Republic Government in exile ịkpọ ya lakpirisi ọ bụrụ Brgie galakpụ ya anyị mere ka ịmata la ihe ikpeazụ anyị ama mere gị la n'igwe okwu abụọ ịtụrụgasị anyị bụ iwetara gị dịka onye ara nwụrụla onwe ya like Secretary Home Ngozi Ọrabeze akpọrọ Ada gị ọra mma gee ntị ọ gbalinye niile ọtọ ka o si were mee gee ntị ka ịnụ ya
otu nnọkọ ezinụlọ Ada mmụọ na-ekene otu nnọkọ ezinụlọ wee ma na-abịa n'ụtụtụ nsị na mma abịaghachi ka ngwụ na ebe nkwụ
tupu anyị agala iru
Ami Ngozi Ọrabeze recruit
tupu ka tosiri nso ka anyị gbara nke bụ eziokwu na-eme nye amameli igbo okwu abịa ịtụrụgasị tupu anyị agaala ihe omume anyị nwere tata dịka Onowu bịara pay anyị visit Onowu bịara visit anyị and anyị chọrọ ime ka ịmata na Onowu nwada Eziada Igbo Jemon alaghachigo azụ na Biafra Republic Government in exile. So ebe ọ na-akpọtụ na nke ikpeazụ ikwuru ibe gị anyị anwerịkwa onye anyị si ka ọ gwa gị ka ị were mata ihe anyị na-agba gị bụ na ị ga-amarịrị na Onowu alaghachigo azụ na Brgie. Ọ bụrụ na ịma hụ ọ Brgie bụ isi afọ kwagbo okpula njem a ọ Brgie bụ ihe declare Biafra ọ Brgie bụ ihe na-aga for recognition ọ Brgie bụ ihe ga-agala mba ụwa were gbasaa ozi ọma nke nnwere onwe bụ Biafra. Ọ baghị uru mmadụ ịpụtala atụrụ gị asị sị gị na anyị nwere n'onwe anyị na anyị nọzila USB ugbu a ọkwa asị ka ndị dị otu a na-atụ anyị si na ihe anya mamela platfọm a na-asọ bụ mmadụ iji okwu asị were bata ya. Ihe anyị ga-ekwu na platform a bụ eziokwu Chineke. Platform a ma anabata mmadụ ịbịa na platform a lakpọ mmadụ iyi. Channel a bụ only for ndị nwere number 6, ndị nwere common sense. Ịmaji okwu asị, ịmaji propaganda were bịa, ịmaji saga were bịa na platform a. Echi bịa na platform a, ihe ị ga-amata bụla anyị amatụrụ gị asị ebe a. Ọ bụrụ na ị nwee ajụjụ eju ajụjụ, asa gị ajụjụ ka onye isi kpakọrọ ọnụ. Anyị achọghị ndị na-akụ aka n'ike na-agagharị na-akọ ka ewetere aka mfa. Ihe anyị chọrọ bụ ịgwa gị eziokwu, maka ihe anyị bịara bụ nwere onwe ka anyị chọrọ. Our leader onye ndu sila ọ bụ naanị eziokwu nke Chineke ga-eme ka anyị nweta Biafra. Enweghị okwu asị dị n'ụwa ga-enye anyị nwere onwe nke anyị chọrọ. Chiela abịa ebe a, ibu nwere onwe gị n'obi. Ịbịakwala ebe a enwere onye lọvụrụ special. Ịghọtago? Ị ga-ewepịala olu, ị ga-ewepịala obi gị, wepịala mmụọ gị. Like ihe m play the first audio our sister Ada Dioramma played the video play. The man leme ka ọ mata la achọghị m ebe bụla achụpụla Ngozi Ọrabeze la gọọmenti. Mụ na ama achọkwa m oge nkere, ama achọkwa m vam ama achọkwa m yeah. Ada Dioramma ewerela eme ka nwa amadi amata. Kịta Ada Dioramma na-ekwu okwu ka nwa afọ Igbo. Oke ịchọghọ ndị a, ọ bụ onye a jere were ndị ebube agụ na-egbusi ndebe anyị were rekrutuo wee si ije egbube ndebe anyị. Ọ bụ onye a ka ị ga-achọsi? That is the question. Sometimes Alama wonder, in the sacrilege Ogechukwu nkere committed. But you guys can see the abomination Ngozi Ọrabeze committed like this government. Now, la breaking news today that the Nigeria government have that Nigeria government have like they froze go PM's bank account GTB. This caused by Ngozi Ọrabeze releasing because our PM trust on one chola alabo. Now Ngozi will email our PM will any Nigeria government. You got to go for them uketanso. Can't take us less more long one for Cambo. Adieji love as of freedom. Adieji propaganda as of freedom. Adieji okuasi as of freedom. Ihe anyị chọrọ bụ ndị ga isi kpakọrọ ọnụ, ndị ga-afụ ala nna ala anya karịa ka ha ji wee fụ onwe ha n'anya. Ọ bụ ndị ga-abịa, we love her Ngozi, love her Ngozi Ọrabeze spoke. Da Ngozi Ọrabeze nwere ekwu okwu, ọ bụ ikwu okwu la thieves isi kpakakpaka without action. Ị chọrọ action, onye ma ekwu okwu ka ị chọrọ onye ma enye action. Ị chọrọ onye mma ihe ọ na-eme ka ị chọrọ onye ga-ala abụla emesịrị gị ọnụ. Okay, gba m single thing Ngozi Ọrabeze mebere since she created this group or creator. So nchọrọ ịwa this foundation so ka ị mara ebe anyị lada were lele dịka anyị labịa ka anyị kpọrọ gị ka anyị na-enye Ada Onowu kwuru. Anyị fụkwana ka esi gbuo onye isi mma fụ ka ya bụ onye isi were zee ya bụ mgbe egwu ka anyị gaa n'iru. Ada Onowu, introduce yourself dịka
good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people of Biafra and lovers of freedom joining us from all over the globe. You're all welcome. And without wasting much of our time, I welcome the big fish to the house. The Honorable Mama, which audience have been waiting for. At the end of the program, some calls may be coming in and some questions may be also coming from the studio and also from the phone lines. At this very point, Biafrans have been very, very hungry of hearing from you, Mama Ada Onowu. You said you want to speak to the Biafran people, and you have a very important message to deliver. You're welcome on stage. I give you the mic. You speak to Biafrans as simple as that. When you want me to interrupt, I will.
Sorry, those on Facebook, if you are hearing me, let me see your comments. So before we proceed, may I grabo if you he watched the yesterday live broadcast at that Onowu. Yeah, all ya can be withdrawn. Can you watch here? Release.
Thank you, ma'am. You're welcome.
All hail Biafra.
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 I love all of you. From the bottom of my heart, coming from Southern California in the USA,
share the program.
I've come here to speak to my people. You are my people. I'll first of all start by telling you who Onowu is. Onowu will be 73 years old in November. Onowu has been in this struggle over 13 years. I've worked closely with almost everyone. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, he laid hands on me in California, prayed for me. I've worked with Obidio Bienu, Brgie Tokafo, Madam Oyibo, late Dr. Okoro. I've broadcasted in Radio Biafra every Saturday till that radio station no longer in a place and told us we will go to worship. So I took myself out. It's 13 years. There has been times I have taken myself out as led by the Spirit. And then when the appropriate time comes, the Lord will bring me back. It could be anywhere between 4 to 5 times. I will take a sabbatical like I did with the Radio Biafra. Radio Biafra. I was always broadcasting every Saturday with Dr. Ekwi, Mona Chimso. And then the Spirit ministered to me that these ones are no longer pursuing what we were there to do. I took a sabbatical, they couldn't believe it. And in no distant time, not even months, they went with Nina's, and they were trying to bring me in. So also with in California, Obidio Bienu and Ujemefo, we all used to go to the British building and there do a protest. I will carry my bullhorn. We will be talking to people about Biafra. And then when they betrayed, I left them. Even regarding my contributions, I won't begin to count it because I'm fighting for me. I won't come here to start telling you how much I've put in, the time, the energy, everything, what I did. So this, I don't know who comes from a humble family. We are the kingmakers. My grandfather, late Onowu Namoyi, what is it now? In 1912, he was one of the warring chiefs that went to Lagos and they deceived them. My dad was only 8 years old, having been born in 1904. And when my great-grandfather saw what happened in Lagos, he came back and decided that his little boy, who is being groomed to be the Onowu, should go to Ozala and live with the white people in order to learn their language and be educated, because he said his time was gone. So my dad was a Biafran from the time he was born till that 1914, when the amalgamation was done. My grandfather later died 29/9/29. So you're looking at, I don't know, I have a dominant political gene passed down by my father, my grandfather, to my father, and myself. My father was the one there in the northern region. He was with NCNC, with Zeke, Para, and then, and my dad will be telling Zeke, what is wrong with you? You're so, why are you to this one Nigeria thing? You know, you don't think about our people. And Opara and my dad will be trying to reset his brain. And they say probably because he was born in Zungeru, he doesn't get what they're saying. My dad tried to make sure that everything pertaining to Igbo, he lived in Jos then. After he went to school, went to St. Mark's, Oka, taught, joined worked for different establishments, and then became a politician. Now he settled in Jos. In Jos, he started the Igbo Union Grammar School, Igbo Union College. Then all Igbos were one. We didn't even know. We did not know that we came from different towns. Not until after the war. That was when I realized, my classmates, we were all in Jos, that we came from different towns. When we met, he said, what are you doing here? I said, I came to fetch water. That was 1966, during the program. He said they live there. I said we live there. Funnily, you know, back there in the north, we were not told our different towns. I told them that they told me that I am from Nkpo. And he said they say I am from Ogidi. And we both laughed. So these things has been going on. Let me get to something else. Having talked about me for a little, yeah, another thing, people will be wondering, I don't know, why now? I say, why not now? I don't know, why now? I will say, why not now? Because we all have a spirit that guides us. I don't know who coming out here to address you people. Nobody pushed me to do it or told me to do it. I was in a 30-day fast for Biafra because that I took myself out of the struggle, which I have done in times before. Does that mean I left Biafra? I was still walking from the background, watching. And the Kenya, I don't know, if all Kenya no took one away, what I care for lot of mafia. So when things started happening, when I took myself out, till in the wings, watching to know what's going on. So at the appropriate time, after the fast, after the fast, 1st of March, on the last day of February, I was in a dream. I saw Onowu. He was looking good with his son. Him twice, so they took him away. Before then, I spoke with him November 16, to be precise, 2024. Because under my leadership, California is the only group that has thought about our families of our men on ground. We collected money, and then I told Onowu he was so glad, 4,350 to be precise, so that they will have their Christmas palliative. Yes. So now, I've been watching from the wings, coming to
share the program, please.
Let me get to this first. We were in a meeting November 27th. I think that it was November 27th. we had a meeting. And then the COS told us that there was a message that came. Because before now, I have been pushing. Can we, is there a way we can have a deputy? And he was into it.
Very important information. Those Biafran in homeland, please, very, very important. There will be meeting for all 40 states with the 8 p.m. this evening by 8 p.m. Very, very important. Try to turn out. Thank you.
What happened, he's very careful because whoever does not respect history happened to them. I understand that. So he would always say that he's very careful. With Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, that's what happened to him with his deputy. So he likes to keep it streamlined so that things will not get out of hand. Because I will tell him, you know, the place of any freedom fighter is either in the grave, in prison, or exile. So if anything happens to you, how do we go about it? He said everything is going on well. Okay. So now, when he sent us that message, my heart was gladdened because I knew when he said, "Wait, that vacuum, how do we close it up?" So the COS told us in that group that there was a message sent by the attorney of the PM. 4 people were in that platform. Mazi Madabu, Mazi Uche Obi, Mazi Oge Nkere, and Dr. Ngozi Orabeze. So now she read out this thing to us that Onowu said she should be the surrogate. So I was happy, at least we solved that situation. So now we got that message to be the surrogate. And then the very next day, we were in another meeting, and Professor Chioma came in. There was an uproar. As the adult in the home, I called the house to order. And then I told Dr. Orabeze, read out that thing you read. I believed that it came from Onowu. Why would I question it when there was no opposition to it? So read it, and then we agreed, okay, go ahead, and then you guys go do what you need to do about the referendum numbers and so on. And then I didn't go to Finland. I told Onowu in 2023 that that will be my last visit to Finland because it's too cold for me. So
don't get distracted with the calls, and also don't focus on the comment section. Just concentrate on it.
I'm not looking at the comment section. Yeah. No, I'm looking at. No, somebody for me. Probably they are having a hard time, so I've powered down my phone. So now, yeah, I now lost my train of thought a bit. So what was I talking about? I was talking about, okay, I told them, okay, you go ahead, you guys go continue with that. So they continued with that, and then we all left. And then we later, well, because it's over 10 hours difference from California to Finland, at times when I wake up in the middle of the night to go pee, that's when I joined them, maybe about after 3 at time of 4. So I didn't fully see all what that transpired there. But I was in communication with Dr. Orabeze even prior to them going. So now we sorted that out, and then there was the issue about dissolving the cabinet. I know I discussed with the COS. I said probably after you guys have come back, you dissolve it, but not while there. But what I realized that it has been dissolved. And I called her. I said, what's going on? She said, I've already dissolved it. I said, but people are still mid-air. They're still basking in the joy of the declaration. you know, so she said it's already done. So we stopped at that. And then I later learned she was still back in Finland. We were not communicating much anymore, you know, while she was there. Well, I spoke maybe a couple times to a sister Leone over there who told me that she traveled that morning. That's how I knew when she left Finland, and that she herself will be leaving the next day. So this now continues. So after we came back, we had a meeting where Dr. Rabeza brought in one of the 4 guys who was released, and then he was talking to us. Then we were talking for almost an hour and some change, and then she said we should all move over to fundraising. So I told them, you know, I don't go to fundraising every week. And she said, no, they said, I don't know, we have to come in no matter, even if it's only 3 people from California, come in and let us know about that. So we went in there, and then I was told, then she spoke, and then we came to the issue about, before now, there was an issue about success, trying to reach respondent. To tell you the truth, I was one of the ones that voted for him to be suspended. So he was suspended. But later, you could do an action, and then later you find out that what you did not sink in well. You will have a rethink. In the spur of that moment, I was angry. I said, why would he? They're calling him, he's not responding, he's not telling us what's going on. Why wouldn't he? So I was part of the people that said to suspend him. So I need to stop here for a minute and let you guys know that I'm speaking under the guidance of the Holy Spirit, and that I prayed about this, I fasted about this. It's the Holy Spirit that brought me out. Nobody can take credit for bringing me today. Early on Tuesday morning, I didn't know I would be doing this. It was after I got a video that reached my brain. That was when the Spirit started dealing with me. So no man or woman can take credit for I don't know what's coming out. Nobody influenced me. Anybody who would want to take credit for that would be blaspheming. That's taking the work of the Holy Spirit to be their deed. So as we speak now, I say, may the words of my mouth and the medications of my heart be always acceptable in God's sight. So I should have said that at the beginning. So now I'm on solid ground. I'm saying what I'm saying. So we now went over to the fundraising, and since she was Dr. Abeza was trying to get the admin to give us the connection for the IPOB site so that we combine both of them, but it wasn't possible. So we just get to the mandate, and I am the secretary of mandate. This mandate is a non-profit organization opened up in the state of Georgia, in United States of America. The purpose of this non-profit organization is to attend to people in war-torn zones and women and children, and Biafra qualified. So now we are running this mandate, and with this mandate, the PM will come every 2 weeks and give us updates about what's going on and tell us what's needed. So then we would do our fundraising and give him the money he wants. That's where we stop with that. So that was the mandate account I swore my life on, that I know that it is authentic. For people that mistook it, that I don't know who knows about the mandate in the North or the FCD Bank, no. So I want to make this clarification for people to know that what I spoke on, I could vouch on it. Onowu was aware of this mandate account, and he would always come in. Before now, it was the mandate, the IPOB website, and California. These were the three carried the struggle. It was later that other states started coming on. So that was the mandate. And told Biafrans, you can pay in money. I hope this is clear, because I don't know who on no grounds, on no occasion supported. And even those two, I should be aware when it's opened, because I'm the secretary. I should be a signatory. Wasn't a signatory to it, was that I came in after the bank was established. I became the secretary. You guys, I talked about which people were calling, saying that that they were mixing it up. I see it as mixed up. I'm not going to blame anybody, and I don't have any anger or any grudges towards anybody. Okay, so let's get that straight. So now we had a meeting, another cabinet meeting, where the administrators from the whole, and we were there, and the COS addressed us. Then the issue of the commanders and men on ground and all whatnot came up. I raised my hand, and then I saw a lot of people raise their hands. I say, okay, just leave it. I don't want, let me be the last to speak so that I will conclude everything. So now, when it was my turn, I asked, I spoke, I said, I started using the skeleton I have in my cupboard. I have two children. My son was a former Marine. You know, Marines are so arrogant, they don't believe they are retired. I mean, generals can retire, but the Marines are former Marines because they believe they are the best things in sliced bread. So my son did 2 tours of Iraq, and he, with all what they killed there, he was a combat engineer. He had the PTSD. So coming from that premise, and also being a mother, I know what the men on the ground are going through. So I spoke. I said, let me tell you, at the OS, these men on ground are going through PTSD. And we don't believe in it because we are still way back there. Nobody is giving them medication to help them see about all the bleeding and killing and all whatnot. In the Bible, when the children of Israel go to war, when they come back, they don't mix them with other people. They let them stay outside, they debrief before they mix them up. But here, nothing of the sort. So I said, allow these people, because she was saying that she said something about changing the generals, them reporting to her and so on. So I said, let us, Madam COS, why don't you focus on administration and let the men focus on the men on ground and defense? Because you see the military people, I raised one. I know how they think. They don't see the civilians as human beings. They call us bloody civilians. So I said, why don't you allow? And we were arguing back and forth. She said no. And that she's going to change the generals. I say, no, do not them. Let's leave that until Onowu comes out. He is one. He'll be coming out. We're not acting like he's never going to come out. You know, let's leave it for him to handle it. But we kept arguing back and forth, and then all these are happening in December. I can't tell you the exact date at this time. So all these were happening in December. So now she did not oblige, and I have had times privately I will try to advise her that no, she doesn't want to heed to any advice. She said what she wants to do, that she will be overseeing everybody. I said, why don't you give them the instruction, the Onyami and the defense minister, and tell them what they will tell the men. And when they meet with them, they'll bring you backward. He said, no, it must go through her. So we argued back and forth. Eventually, I gave up. Then another one was when she had a virtual visit. I was already getting all tired with all I'm hearing, men being killed and so on. It distresses me. I can't handle it because I saw what happened in 1966. So when all these killings come, it triggers something in me. It reminds me, and then I'll start having panic attacks and so on. Some of you don't understand what we saw during the war, how heads were cut off, women coming from Plateau in the train, and then they're carrying their husbands with the heads cut off close to them, and then the Gala people and so on, they push them on the train, and then they massacred the women again. My dad came back it was by God that he came back with only the shirt on his back. So all this, I know all what's going on. And I've been in this struggle for so long. I say now, onye nwanyi bruzo no adina ke wenkwonkwite. And if I okay, you don't know what I'm Maria. So I tried my best. I talked to Dr. Rabeze. It wasn't working. I advised her. She wouldn't back into it. So then, when I had my medical episode, which I almost died here, because I'm living all by myself. My daughter lives in San Diego. My son lives in Boston. So I said, you know what? You have to be alive to fight another day. That was coupled with the dreams I had, seeing all these young men, all these that are happening now. The Lord had already revealed it to me. I saw massacring young men from 25 to 30, being killed and all whatnot, the bloody mess. So I woke up and then I called her. I spoke with her for over an hour. She wouldn't change. She wouldn't budge. She tells me I worry too much. All those things I'm hearing, I should just phase out. It will phase out. The months are going, the weeks are going. It's not phasing out. She wasn't listening. So then that wrote that I want to be taking off all administrative and ministerial work due to my health, and that I will still be working for Biafra. But for now, I don't want to. And I've done it in the past, even with Onowu. When he put this CRC, I told him it was stressing me out. It's not a big issue. There's no contract signed by anyone that you must continue to be where you are. If you're not okay, you can take a break. Like Onowu will always say, if the pressure cooker is too hot for you, step aside. When it cools to the temperature you can handle, then you come back. So I couldn't continue anymore. So now I left. I was still in the wings watching what's going on. Occasionally I will come out to the YouTube, I will see it, will send me a thing, and then I got the message of Butuzo. Let me tell you guys, Ikonso didn't have to die if he had stayed abroad, but because of the love the young man has for Biafra, he left and came home and told Brgie that he's going to work with us. He was the commander. This Butuzo was his 2IC. That will tell you the caliber of Butuzo. He's not a criminal. He's not what anybody thinks. I know what I am speaking because I was in all these things. I have been embedded in this. I know. So I know. So when Ikonso died, Onyendu did not even grieve his parents as much as he grieved, to show you the love and the commitment Ikonso had. Onyendu said it will take 2,000 heads to bury that young man. And Butuzo now stepped in his shoes. It took so much. I'm in the know. It took so much to convince Butuzo to even work with autopilot. Madam Azoka played a hero. It took so much to get him. And then he started working. And then they started building the camps and everything, working, everything. Initially, they were killing our people. Now, after they have everything, now everything's working. We have to be moving up. We don't have to, we go one step forward, we go 11 steps backward. No, that's not how the world works. The world is not static that you come and you stay here. The world is dynamic. You move with time. So now,
share the program, important. If you are joining us, share the program. Network. Please. Network, allow this program. Please, if you are joining us, just share the program. Very, very important. Share the program.
And his group, they have established this and doing a fantastic job.
Network. Please share the program. I see some comments here. Those are saying that Mama should go and sleep, that she's old. But in Gemwabo young man, or Gemwabo young girl, you can't do what?
We are sending this money, funneling this money through success, because success, when Onowu,
you can't do it. So if I am a meli, am a madeleme, do yadike, shade, you can't do it. Okay? You can't do it. As you can't do it, and you see another person doing it. Info service, you can't do it. So support and follow who know road. You have is in your life, even your mother. Info, negama melinyo nagama melinyo. Like this movement, the same thing goes to.
Who would be speaking? Success will come, they'll be speaking their language. And you see the camaraderie, you see the rapport. All this were what I
get that correct. If I call it nonsense, mark it about we a change of police, a change of fundamental and dead, a fair line about letter. Say, Pataqualeba, where la bawo, I have a heavy bawo. We come here to set the record straight. Apart from holding this
I mentioned when I spoke to Dr. Rabeze about not taking of the not changing anything the PM has. Let her leave it at that.
Look. Never again on to. Without Oge Chukwunkere being acting prime minister, protecting this government, Ngozi SL go this struggle since. What make you a freedom fighter? Kenye gosi is your defense. Your defense. Now Ngozi it's like we will go to Adade Orama program. So Adade Orama will help us to analyze who Ngozi is very well, because all work hand to hand with Ngozi Orabeze. And you know Ngozi Orabeze, like a 5 and 6. It's like we watch the program through Adade Orama. Let's watch through her channel. Understand? Ngozi is enemy of Biafrans. Like it, take it, or leave it. Understand? Ngozi Orabeze, Ngozi Orabeze, but in your Ngozi Orabu Fulani went and go and recruit a Bubago terrorists. Monage assume on Biafra ma on nde Bubago at this movement. Ebubago enwebe onye ojidere nwokorobi ojidere ala Igbo ha. How many people Ebubago burula my own village alone, only in my village, not in other villages. So you supporting Ngozi Orabeze, understand? I am. So let's watch the program.
So that was the mandate.
Let us share the program. Watch it through this channel. Because that all that my help. Why
evil man.
Is an evil woman. Onya amahe. Or they are not device. Or they are kwe. Onto say, but get married hoku. By la, all men will succumb to her idiocy, and we say no to this mayhem. Understand? We say
medications of my hands.
So lanya to home ndela biala line last line, we must bow. We don't bow to anybody. Igbos, Biafrans don't bow to anybody. We only worship Chukwu Okike.
Coming from Plateau train.
Wow, it's no to us.
And then they
so support the program.
They are carrying their husbands with the.
Send your comments. We are here to read every comment. So we are not.
Let's cut off close to them. And then
you cannot win this war. You can never win this war. Not in this world. Not where I am here. Ever no.
The Ghana people and so on.
Don't write your nonsense. You can't stop us. Stop us. So
put down the train and then they must.
If they try your nonsense, after you write your nonsense,
attack the women again.
Without us protecting this government, how
many came back
and say we want to fall back? If
just
an old woman like this,
it was
this woman is the strongest woman ever for having this courage to come out.
By God's grace that he came back with only the shirt on his back. So all this
info service.
I know.
Info service can dress again. Let me address you small before we move on. Your COS Ebuho Biafra Lobi. In instruction on nde bubago mgbe ndo recruiter or say when you see Fulani herdsmen sige ebukwala ha nge hapo ha so kenye nya le chogi Fulani le kidnap ndebe ani e ka show ya or sige hapo ha okay onye bra recruit ko nde bubago okay in this comments in America now Nyam one single thing crime Ogechukwu nkere committed. iji wee kpọọ ya asị. But Ngozi Orebeze gwara gị Lola work with Nigeria politicians, which he have their number and is in contact with them. You won't have a problem with that. Ngozi Orebeze gwara gị a member, full member of People's Club of Nigeria. If you here as anything, you won't have a problem with that. Ngozi Orebeze Islamic bank account. You won't have a problem with that. Ekapa law for ya. Only protected the government by giving you Islamic. I show you from that Islamic another Islamic bank. You won't have a problem. Ngozi Orebeze no. Now, for phone number of our people online, exactly what DOS do in 2021. You won't have a problem with that. Nyamo one single thing in Oge community. Nyamo just one thing. I say my account. Are you in this government? I am in this government. Last meeting with the PM before PM invite. If you don't know, let me tell you. I'm in this government. I know everything about this government. Okay. During that time was Trump election. Trump rally. And Oge Chukwunkere is on assignment for this same government. Ono Oslo as joining, which is call this interview, Madam Onowu. Understand? Long 3 hours journey. When they made the meeting, on Opala Oseri joining at the meeting. But PM, I was in the meeting. The financial de facto financial officer made an account. Understand? The other department made an account. Okay, mbe PM was here, Minister of Information. Or say okay, everybody know on Johnny. Okay, let another thing proceed. A proceed. Yeah. Up that day, ka azukarani a gemma currency. This is a secret meeting. But this Ngozi Orebeze erat bomum Obi Okoye. But Emmanuel Okoye nna kweza amuru Obi went go and bring out place here Biafra is our home and the Biafra is our religion group one member. But PM warned on that meeting, nobody should bring out this information outside. But that guy bring here, which made PM ban Doyan. See never to come back. Even Wapiala or the Megu State. This today, that guy Ngozi Orebeze Jiwreme general of all general. Imagine Ezaburobi. Okoko. Can go on Yamaham Aboka Kubo forever. So why Lenya Diabla, Obro and can protect this government. You get one lesson Ngozi Orebeze Kazumpi, Kebega Batana, Ketangozi Orebeze had a problem. Mononaya Biafra first, before anything, before any other person. And what on for where but this movement. To protect, to make sure that I get this government, to make sure I'm with this freedom. Love Ngozi Orebeze. Love why Jana I am. Love what Jana I auto. Love Ngozi Orebeze. Love because but Ogenkere was busy working with this every day. Immediately our PM back at Razo, Ogenkere Brosere got John man. I love Ogenkere chain auto. A bam. I like you to see Boku. Mba. Lord, dear Boku, let Fisi back up. Mba. Coffee break is back up. Wolfe Bieregisia, Bakega Matala. Yes, Lomeri you. Let's continue with Adolo. The figure be about Demon Yalabaka Moto. But if there's anything here, I'm ready to answer you because this is my channel.
All what's going on. And I've been in this for so long. I say now, onye nwanyi buzo no adina ke when kwite. And it's okay, get on what I'm Maria. So I tried my best. I talked to Dr. Rabeze. It wasn't working. I advised her. She wouldn't happen to it. So then,
Commander,
when I had my medical episode, which I almost died here.
So, support to government to move. Brgie, Gemota independent elasho. Obu Brgie made declaration. Obu ngozi all USB made declaration. Fonda mahenya ngozi let deceive on. Obu USB made declaration. Obu Brgie made declaration. Brgie o deliver on channel on here elasho Brgie lime. Some people are say, PM say, I follow back to Brgie.
Because I'm living all by myself. My daughter lives in San Diego. My son lives in Boston. So I said, you know what? You have to be alive to fight another day. That was coupled with the dreams I had, seeing all these young men, all these that are happening now. The Lord had already revealed it to me. I saw massacring young men from 25 to 30 being killed. And all whatnot.
On your course, they put in the ban on weekend in Madame on ever. You will carry some people on my program, but a comment chat that your nonsense. About he by a comment chat that your nonsense. A piano, a potakayefu, a yatago. About by comment, a comment check watch
months are going
on when this fight starts. Many of them will FAP block of money. Yeah, all the ego.
The weeks are going.
The last person got block on this media. Last person got block on this media. Yeah, I'm about to get the child. The child John Kulili get the lower. If the child, Yanyan can, Mamma and you go cocoa. If labor cocoa and your mamma, all con your chance lead Lord and you know one, and your mamma. Yeah, Malamade. Your chance in annual mamma, Mali Jalo, one mine, in your bed, mamma, Yamali Jalo, one mine. So, why in Meralo wa, in your Abbey Geralo wa, Emmanuel mamma, Emmanuel, my block on what is now. On your block, what is it? You got to go. One dog that could die your program. Or see time, but on the lila lapa wall, sell see ya. The Mona Mahabus yoy. What he got to tell me herself, Mona Maha, matter 1 or 2. You got to be like a message and a lie, or let them allow back in your labo back and say how you. It's an every corner. I believe back I saw again. We love our land. We want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go to my who goes there. Oh, yeah, man, what don't you gap now? Sulia so ben there. What don't you gap now? The Calienta Beha. What they got one day after one day after 1 year before my memory before my heart over Carlota Zelolo Halaba Bro family. Of one name working now, one name working now. I don't know them. We are crying this thing to go home. We are telling our people we want to go home. Nira Pitebabo, Ijiwebo get Chukum Kerase, Ijiwell of Bao. In love about German Ioto now, when you did Ioto. Instead, your country number one. You got full country, Gelanya, Biafra force. That will be your logo. That will be your language. Not to Emonya Amadi. Oma help work with Puchitariano. Kenya Messingilia or Fobodo. Kenya Messin in Niji Brunde Biafra. Or can no be everyone? Yeah? Amamiya Zuroke. Amamiya Kanya Mamia Zuroke Lua. Open Amamiya Zuroke is going to need anybody to tell you anything. Utangoja Amamiya Kazuroke. Or talk on your black where no best on your balam. They want to control everybody. They don't want anybody to control you. No! That is not what we want. We don't need that. We need people with the very brilliant and intelligent people. Easy from our own force. Recruit to Bubago. Mange na support onye Bubago je go phone the universal law the careful call of on go listen that and all get ready see. Can the la support Ngozi Bubago recruit je go phone yesu law maka aso na ebro guzo onye ozo isi odite bu nko. You need to support good, be civilized, open your eyes. We are not here to show fake love. You will love your country first before any other person. APM now, so they must support them. Do don't get la mama that so you. You can't support me. Okay, you never add any dronyo. I said, nah, they represent him. Touch on us, Lobu Gidibu Gweze. Let's a latch off my bundolachi. Let's on Yabalam le Punsilo Tela Agare. Ngozi Bez on Yabalam, Ocho Konya Blagware. Imagine a common person like me. We talk to APM, he will listen to me. Okay, when this issue rise, we raise a 15-man delegate for sake of those. We raise a 15-man delegate. 5 is from Ngozi Orabeze camp. 5 is from government, Brgie. 5 Bundesla has supported the Brgie, has supported Ngozi Orabeze group. We send them, go and make peace. Do you know that if they went to Brgie, Brgie accepted? So no problem. So long as Lord, we love everybody. We want to achieve our goal. We want to go home. They speak to us like their children. Okay, going back to Ngozi Orabeze block everybody. Is that kind of leader you teach? Number one, Ngozi with the leadership spirit. Lie. Ngozi can never hold. Ngozi amachili even community. Ngozi amachili even club. Ngozi amachili in a club. Ngozi amachili. Unwodia. And when you do Ibola leadership charisma. Ha! Asomo Ibotata. Na kora ni makabikola. Obron kadisi. Slamadi aso Ibo aso plamonka. Leadership charisma. Omo here motu. Fonya lembregen tale embregi mo. Okay, God the ho. This kind of person no na boge chukungere. Le were gia bibe government. Obo hokonyo ojo mba ho. Ka PM ba ketraze. Oge chipe ebudile ego le ko buru nya estimate. Nobody will give account. Are you in the meeting? No. But was in that the same meeting? It's like as I'm announcing now that APM want to have meeting with all the whole executive in the 40 states. Njacha meeting by 8 p.m. now. Then actually the meeting. And get one no. So this government bomber to bomber. Say lankeji kame nkeji meme. If onye ọbụla pụtara ebe ala akọ onye ahụ bụ nọnse on the DOS la ndachịkọta ekwe ọnụ onye adadị ọra mma na akpọ ndachịkọta ekwe ọnụ ngozi ọra eze recruit sịrị bịa na ebe a la media will go nowhere. We are here to deliver ourselves. We are here to restore, to regain our freedom. I just general declaration. But we are now Ugozi, Obananya full country. Si Georgia Lotazie Alabia for Alabagare. Can they pay give visit? I'm a lota at one dam, young JP give visit. Like your village. They are let deceive on your she's a tribe leban, a bog on Nilan. I believe a bog woman. Come on, gun in another say so. That's listening to his woman. Onowu. This woman, I don't know, is the strongest woman ever. Strongest, courageous. Some people are typing here. He get negi only this kind of this woman. Moro, 70 over 72 years old woman. Potra, nego just standing like this. Your grandmother potri get to a decade. Muro guy mora. I thought your grandma potri get to a decade. Muro this guy mora. I thought your grandma God will bless you. I don't know God will bless you. Baby juice, Oremi juice. God will bless you guys. Uno potra stand there out to know that Lenya need trouble. Freedom, nothing more. Don't give me anything. What I need here is freedom. I don't in this movement. I don't have any friend at all. Number one man's fault. One man's fault. I don't have friend. Friend, but after our you go total freedom. I can now select a friend. I can now make a friend. But for now, no. Let's go on.
She wasn't listening. So then that night I wrote that I want to be taken off all administrative and ministerial work due to my health, and that I will still be working for Biafra. But for now, I don't want to. And I've done it in the past, even with Onowu. When he put me in CRC, I told him it was stressing me out. It's not a big issue. There's no contract signed by anyone that you must continue to be where you are. If you are not okay, you can take a break.
Some people think
Like Onowu will always say, if the pressure cooker
Frederick Sunday, all here Biafra, my brother.
is too hot for you, step aside.
Watch life and direct.
When it cools to the temperature you can handle, then you come back. So I couldn't continue anymore. So now I left.
Share the program.
I was still in the wings.
Do you know Ngozi Arabia more than me? I was in this government.
What's going on occasionally?
I
will come out to the I will see it, or people will send me a thing, and then
it's like network is.
I got the message of Butu
Adadiorama channel. Let's let's go my YouTube channel. Kai Square Bar where
So let me tell you guys.
Kai Square Bar what
Icon so
because
didn't have to die if he has stayed abroad. But will now know them. It's good to just, like Onowu will always say, consistency is the key. So now, what's his name? Success, the one Onowu preferred to be walking through. So I hammered on this. After I spoke to Madam, leave it alone.
What sack? How can you sack who you never employ? Employ you this in man employ. Yeah? One boy called Odibo can you and they be last support to our TCR support injustice. Mwabula injustice get ugagesu so oh come on okay so obodo from no injustice ni obodo agele make injustice agele pay you pass do like inya ngozi mere government ya government obodo in no government agele make injustice obo fire agoro isi unu okama ka echegaria
I even spoke with Onyami. I told him, you're a military man. You know how it goes. Why don't you speak to the CS? By then, I had already taken myself off. I wasn't communicating with them anymore. December was last. I was with Dr. Rabeze and the group. I took myself off everything. So now I went through Onyami. I say, Onyami, you are the deputy. Talk to her so that you guys can go. You know what you know everything about rules of engagement. You know all these things. So convince her so that she will just allow the men to do this and not get involved in it. Onyami told me he will get back to me. Till date, I haven't heard from him. Then come to the issue of Caterpillar and what's his name? Caterpillar and what's the name of the other guy?
Sapele Ezemunaobi.
Thank you. Caterpillar and Sapele. When we were with the
Gabriel Nwobodo Gente ịmanye ikpeazụ m ga-eme here bụ mee onwe pụta were ọnụ njiri ede ọnụ m agụziri agụzi dị nsọ m were ya la atụ asị la ma afụ dị ibe onye ohi enweghị ihe mere n'ụwa ka mkpọ oge onye ohi la ma afụ dị ibe onye egbu mmadụ ma enweghị ihe mere ka mkpọ oge onye egbu mmadụ ihe ọbụla nna agbaghị ebe a nwụrụ every evidence. Nke we put say that she sold herself for the for money. I'm not money na agba. Understand? But mana I don't know abohonyi jide ego were bribe. E got to go. La mkpo ge nsege na ngozi bụ onye ohi enwere m evidence nje with fact and figure. E got to go. Enwere m the fact and figure prove ya. Which are Onowu mentioned in this broadcast. Kaigaliru, legal Onowu nte. Madi abia kwala ebe saga. You got to go makanya bachala saga. Now, but we want to make peace with everybody.
PM. Dr. Rabeze, you are the COS. You know everything. He killed our men. He killed the ESN. Onowu did not want him anymore. He left with 5.8 million. He absconded. That's the money to buy ammunition.
Okay.
And then Sapele did the havoc he did with them. And then You want to make Caterpillar the commander. So I spoke to Dr. Former. I told him, you know, because I know Dr. Former is in the cabinet of Dr. Eze. Going through him.